Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pros in Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. My name is Kahala, and I'm your host. Well, we are so excited today because we are doing it for the culture today. We are doing it for the children today, all of our beautiful Black boys and girls everywhere. We have with us a national officer for the one and only Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. We have with us the one and only Mrs. Michele Henry-McGee.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Mrs. Henry-McGee.
Hello, just call me Michele, please.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I'm just Michele.
Like you are the national treasurer for Jack and Jill, though.
It is okay. I'm just Michele first.
Okay. You know, we put respect on people's names at Pros in Politics Podcast. We give people their flowers and their due.
That's okay.
But
when I'm no longer national treasurer, I'll still be Michele.
Okay. Well, I will try to call you Michele today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I am so happy that our schedules could align. You are so busy, and you are a wife, you are a mom, and you are a national officer.
Yes.
For Jack and Jill.
Yes.
So please.
Happy to serve.
Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I am a wife. My husband, my most supportive husband, allows me to do the things I love to do. Mm-hmm. And he takes care of home when I'm traveling, and he supports me in every way. I'm a mother of 5. My youngest is 14. My oldest is 38. Awesome. So I am a sister to my brother, a daughter to my mother and father, and I just love my family. I love Jack and Jill, so the two, Jack and Jill as a family organization, just fit perfectly within my life.
Absolutely, it did, because, you know, that's news to me. I knew you were a mom, and of course there was the young man that graduated recently. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on that.
Thank
and then
you.
We were talking off camera about your youngest, but you got this mom thing down.
I do.
5. That's amazing.
So 3 of them I have birthed. 2 are my bonus babies.
Absolutely.
The 2 older ones.
Absolutely.
But they are my babies as well.
Absolutely. Well, that is amazing. So like you said, Jack and Jill just fit right into
perfectly.
Life.
Yes.
For you. So please tell us all about Jack and Jill, because we know that it is just such an amazing organization, and it does so much for the African-American family, the African-American child, and so therefore the African-American community.
Right.
And we are all about that here on the platform. So please tell us all about Jack and Jill.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we are an 85-year-old organization. We are a network. We are a group. We are one group of mothers raising African-American children.
A movement.
We come together from different backgrounds, different everything. But when we come together as one. We have that in common. We are a group of mothers raising our future African-American leaders.
Absolutely. So I just remember growing up hearing about Jack and Jill. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you know, I did not have the honor of growing up personally in Jack and Jill, but I've heard so much about it. I have some wonderful people in my life, Zena Cruz, Devin Moody Graham, just Shamika Patterson, just so many people. My cousin Jay, she was a Jack and Jill mom like years ago.
Jay inducted me when I first joined. She was my first chapter president.
Oh, that is awesome. So I've seen the everything that goes into it and the children that come out of it. But how does one get inducted? What did you say? How does one get inducted, or how does a mom or a family get involved with Jack and Jill?
Okay. Well, membership in Jack and Jill is by invitation.
Okay.
So someone who's currently a member may invite you to learn more about Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. And of course, you can visit our websites, our social media sites to learn more. But as far as membership, it is by invitation, or you are a child who has graduated out of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated, and we can consider you to be a legacy. So once you graduate out, you've gone through whatever you're going to go through, and now you're a mother yourself, or the wife, the spouse of a young man who's graduated out, you can come in as a legacy membership, no questions asked.
Okay. Okay. So you are a member of the East St. Louis chapter.
I am. The extraordinary East St. Louis chapter.
So tell us all about the East St. Louis chapter.
Okay. Well, this year we are celebrating, actually in a few weeks, we're going to be celebrating our 61st anniversary. So we were founded September 21st of 1962. As far as we know, we still have one of our charter members still here with us living, and we celebrate her every Founders Day. But we are excited. We have grown. I have been a member for 15 years now. And when I started this journey, when Jay inducted me in 2008, we were a very small chapter. We were growing, and now we are, I think we had maybe 7 or 8 members at the time, and now we are over 42 mothers strong. So we have grown, and with that growth, we're able to do more within our community. We focus, as the East St. Louis chapter, our focus is on the community of East St. Louis. Now, most of us, some of us, we grew up in East St. Louis. We have that connection. East St. Louis is home for us, even though we may no longer live there. But some of us are not. We have no connection physically, familiar to East St. Louis, but we have a passion for the community, and we want to see the children and the families of the community thrive. So that's for our chapter. When we are taking in new members, that's one of the things we want to know. Why East St. Louis? Why the East St. Louis chapter? What is it that you can bring into the East St. Louis community?
And so do you all have initiatives, like many organizations, on the national level or for the national president have initiatives? So what are the initiatives that you all have nationally right now?
Yes. Our thrusts, as we call them, focus around civic engagement, community service, mental health. There are 5 pillars that we go through. And all of our chapters, 262 chapters across the nation, focus on all the same pillars. Now, the programming may be different, but we're all focused on the same pillars to make sure that our children get the information they need to succeed, to be leaders.
And that is just tremendous to hear that there are so many chapters, because again, our children need mentorship, they need guidance, they need information. What did you say? Civic engagement and all the other things, because this is a changing world. And it's not the world we grew up in. No. It's not even, the world that your older children grew up in. I mean, just looking at my 15-year-old and what the world was like when he came to be, I'm thinking it's just changing so much. And to have positive role models, positive information being fed into our children, because there are so many negative influences right now.
True.
And so to be able to have an organization that we wake up in the morning, we go to bed at night, focus on a positive impact for our children is just great.
Right, and we also want them to know our history. We want them to know their history, but we also want them to know that they are the leaders. They are going to impact our future. So that is something that we instill in them. I remember when I joined Jack and Jill, my now 28-year-old, we had changed schools, and she was one of 5 African-American children in her school at the time, the only girl. And I still question why they did that to her. But it was at that point that I knew we needed to do more to make sure that she knew her culture, because she had no African-American friends at the time. And so Jack and Jill found us, and we found Jack and Jill. And from there, it's just been great. And now she's not a mother yet, but she keeps saying, when I'm a mother, I'm coming back.
Absolutely. And so she will be a legacy member.
She will be a legacy member,
That is awesome. That is awesome. I admire your position on that, because many of us have our children in school districts or teams and environments that they are the only person in the room. And I've lived that for years, it took 220 years to get an African American and even a woman circuit clerk in St. Clair County.
Yes.
And that was me for 10 years. And during that time, the Lord blessed me to go into many spaces and places in that position. And I just remember, I can't tell you a time that I wasn't the only person of color in the room.
I can imagine.
And so that is really important to be able to still properly identify, understand who you are, never let go of who you are, never apologize for who you are. And so I love the fact that no matter where our children go to school, where they're raised, private or public, that they have a place and a safe space to know who they are, know their culture, know their history. And that is absolutely one of the things that the Jack and Jill moms that I know, they're just like, it just gives them a sense of who they are. And I'm like, I like that.
Because as we know, they're no longer learning it in school.
No.
So we have to, as parents, we have to make sure they know the lesson, they understand it. And so we do it at home, but then also Jack and Jill provides that backup, and it provides more. It gives them that safe space. Yes.
And you all just had an amazing conference in Denver?
We had our regional conference in Denver.
Please tell us about that. I heard it was just lit. I heard all about it, and I heard it was just top tier from beginning to end.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad you heard that. So the conferences, each region does a biennial conference. So we are the Central Region. I'm a part of the Central Region. And our conference was this year in Denver. Conference for us is doing the business of Jack and Jill, but it is also fun. So during the day, we took care of the business, and in the evening, we did have a little bit of fun.
Work hard, play hard.
Right, and this year we had both the Mothers and the Teen Leadership Conference. So we had our teens doing their business, which are meetings they run themselves. They decide what they're going to do over the next program year, how they're going to do it, what their own civic engagement is going to be, and community service projects are going to be within our region. So they do that themselves. We're just there to make sure if they have a question, we can answer it, but they do the work and they put in the work. So yes, we had a wonderful time in Denver. We are also going to have our national convention in 2024 in July, and we'll be in Minneapolis. That's where the entire organization will come together to do the business of Jack and Jill. So we are 17,000 members strong, over 70,000 family members represented within our organization, and we're growing. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. I'm not even a part, and I'm just sitting here. My heart is warm, and I'm just smiling. 17,000
members,
beautiful Black family members coming together.
Those are just the mothers. 70,000 family members. So 17,000 members, and there's 70,000 children.
Wow, that is tremendous. So you are on the national level,
I serve as the national treasurer, yes.
And you are a member of the East St. Louis chapter.
Yes.
That's huge.
It is wonderful.
I'm sorry, that's why I so desperately wanted to have you on here, because of course I put on for my city, and we love to ride for all things East St. Louis here. So to know that a national member was in the East St. Louis chapter, I was like, I have to have this beautiful woman with these dreads come on here and talk about herself and all the things. So tell us what that means for you and for the East St. Louis community to have a national member, the national treasurer in the East St. Louis chapter.
It is a wonderful, and I'm very proud to represent East St. Louis, but I'm not the first. So Dr. Lillian Parks is the first. She was our 11th national president.
Yes.
And I can hear her voice in my head right now saying, oh, you're doing such a good job, Michelle. She has been a constant support to me. She has encouraged me to move from chapter leadership to regional leadership and now national leadership. And even when I question myself, she's still there. She's still there supporting me. She is just a wonderful person. But I am very happy to represent East St. Louis on a national level. That is something that makes me proud, and I hope I'm doing a wonderful job in representation of our chapter and of our community.
Well, I'm sure you are. Like I said, I'm not a member, but so I can't speak personally to it, but I have spoken to you. I've had conversations with your team, and just the level of professionalism. It's like, okay, well, you reach out, but there is decent and in order. So it's, well, you need to speak to this person. There's conversations that need to be had. Because I could be on here talking about anything, right? I could be, and obviously you all are, you don't want to make it seem cold because it's a very warm thing. But in 2023, you all are a brand, right? Everybody has a brand, and you protect your brand.
Of course.
And so for me to be vetted, basically, and then they were still like, I think that would be great. And I think that would be wonderful for you to sit down from East St. Louis and have this conversation with our national treasurer and just let even more people who, I mean, there are going to be people that didn't know. Like I said, I didn't grow up in Jack and Jill. So there are other families and moms and Black children that need what Jack and Jill have to offer. And so they will be able to possibly see it or hear it or download the podcast and, well, what is this Jack? Do we have a chapter in our local community? Like, do I know anybody in the chapter? Because like I said, my children, we live in communities that are diverse, but not wholly diverse, right? And so the numbers can be small at times or non-existent. And, you know, there are people all over the country, right, that live in environments and communities like that, but they still want to have that connection.
And they need that connection.
And they need that connection.
I heard you say, you know, you didn't have that experience with Jack and Jill as a child. Neither did I. It took Jay finding me. So as I say, we found each other. And then Jack and Jill became part of my family. Yes, but what you were speaking of is what we call protocol. So you're exactly right. There is a way we do things in Jack and Jill.
It is.
And our illustrious and exquisite national president, Cornisha McGee Brown, if I don't have her stamp of approval, I don't do it. So we definitely follow our protocol to make sure things are done decently and in order.
That's right, because it's just so many times we feel that whether it's Black business or whatever it is we do as people of color, you know, that's that stigma that it's, you know, not done right or whatever. And that's a lie. That is a lie.
Right.
And so we have to always put out excellence. So that way, that's why we're here, to change the narrative.
Right.
About our St. Louis metro community, about our East St. Louis community, and about our communities in general as communities of color.
And that's what we're teaching our children. We tell them, you write your own story. No one else can write your story better than you can. They can't tell your story better than you can. So you write it, and they have to say what you're doing. They have to do what you've written, not what they think, not what they imagine, not to glorify their mission, but to glorify the work that you're putting in, the work that you're going to do as a leader. We are dependent on our children to lead us, so we are helping them with that. They are going to meet in D.C. Couple weeks, we're going to be in D.C. We are taking them on the Hill every 2 years. We go on the Hill, feet on the ground. We go to the Capitol. The children, the teens get to talk to their legislators from their area and advocate for themselves, for their friends, for their peers, for their families, and their communities. They are going to talk one-on-one, face-to-face on the Hill with their representatives about the issues that are affecting them and what they want to see. They're going to tell them what they want them to do.
Just dynamic.
So, yeah, I love it. It's a great experience.
It is, and to have that type of experience as a child. I had some great experiences growing up. I had a great upbringing in East St. Louis,
in East St.
Illinois.
Louis, same here.
Graduated from District 189, and look at us now, right? But I think about all the experiences that I could have had to actually go to Washington, D.C., to actually talk to my legislators, because that's what we stress. You have to understand the importance of the laws that are being written, because they affect you every single day.
They affect you.
And if someone is telling you that elections don't matter, voting doesn't matter, those are the people that make the laws, that dictate what you eat at school, that dictate what your curriculum is, that dictate, you know, all the different, from, you know, licenses to certificates to so many other things, whether it's on your local municipal level, whether it's on your county level, your state level, or all the way to the White House. And so many people only think about, oh, what's the White House? What goes on locally impacts you way more than what goes on in the White House. And so we have to make sure that our children understand that early, so they are civically engaged early. Right.
We take them to the polls with us when they're little. We need them to understand that we've elected these people to do what's in our best interest. And so we need them to do what we've elected. What we've elected them to do. So yes, we're going to tell them what we want and what we need, and we're going to expect them to do it.
That's right.
That's nothing too small to ask. We expect you to work on our behalf. If you can't do it, then we'll find someone else to do it.
Yes.
Or we'll do it ourselves. I will be the next you. So no, it's wonderful. I love it. I love to see the teens get out there and do it. And if they're not a teen who's going to be in DC with us, they're going to be right back here at home in their home communities, working, advocating for themselves and their peers, their families, and their communities. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, you are beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You are too. Your love for Jack and Jill, it just comes off of you. That's one of the things that I love. People that come on this platform are often so passionate because sometimes you need passion.
Yes.
Because when you're tired, when you're over it, when you're ready to give up, it's that passion that you have for the children, for the organization that's going to, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to do some self-care. I'm going to take a nap, or I'm going to rest this weekend, but I'm getting up on Monday to do it all over again. Right. And you were just so passionate about your organization, and I just love it.
Right. We are not doing this for ourselves. We are doing this for our children. We are here because we're mothers. Jack and Jill would not exist if we were not mothers working together.
Awesome. Yes. So before we close,
yes,
what is one thing that you would like the world to know about Jack and Jill?
I would like the world to know that Jack and Jill is here for you. We want to be a part of your lives. We want you to understand that we are not just here for our children, we are here for all children. Their benefits are what we are working for, and we want them all to thrive and be successful in whatever it is they want to do in life. We are depending on them to lead us into the next stage of our lives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was wonderful.
Will you come back?
Of course. Okay. As long as our schedules align.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have given us just a wealth of information. And like I said, there's somebody out there that doesn't know about you, your chapter, or Jack and Jill, or what your organization is doing in the lives of Black families and Black children every single day.
Right. I encourage them to visit our website. Jack and Jill of America, jackandjillinc.org, my chapter website, jackandjillesl.com. Any of them will give you any information about our organization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in today to Pros in Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and you'll join us again next week. But in the meantime, please like, love, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.